Hey, so I'm at Florence now. The Christmas lights here is so beautiful. It's like all over the place.
Once I landed Florence, me and a few people I met from hostel decided to check out one of the famous museums in Florence. And on the way there, we saw this famous church, also known as the Duomo. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to have a really good look of the church because we really wanted to check out the museum. Well, this place is called Ponte Vecchio. It has so much history here. And when I landed, it was about 4 p.m. and it got really dark really fast. This was about 5 or 6 p.m. There are so many types of paintings here by famous artists. While these paintings are about Adam and Eve, many of these paintings talks about the birth of Renaissance. Where did Leonardo da Vinci got his inspiration from, followed by Michelangelo and also Raphael. These statues are also based by famous artists. The most famous painting that people wanted to see when they come here is this particular painting called The Birth of Venus.
I just got back from the Uffizi Gallery, which is pretty good because the Uffizi Gallery talks about the birth of Renaissance. I feel like that's the only part that is really good in that gallery. Aside from that, there's a few paintings here and there by famous artists, but personally I find the Renaissance is the one that is, worth going. So I enjoyed it. It was only 1 hour. I did it with an audio guide, which is actually better because audio guide just make things better. It's a free audio guide, so I'm glad. I would definitely recommend Uffizi Gallery. The birth of the Renaissance is definitely so good. But please try to listen with an audio guide. You will learn a lot more. The thing is, coming here to Florence has been a huge difficulty. So we decided to get on a bus to get to Florence. We're trying to figure out where to actually go. And once we reached there, we couldn't find the bus. Because we're so new at this place, we just didn't know where to go. It became a problem. Like we couldn't even find the right bus. So we missed like 3 buses. We literally missed 3 buses. Wait, is it 3 or 2? I forgot. Yeah, either 3 or 2. I think it was 2 buses. Yeah, we missed 2 buses. It is crazy. So, and it was so frustrating as well because we still gotta pay again. So we paid for the third time. We missed 2 buses. Paid the third time, and we finally got on that bus with some form of help because I had to ask one of the locals. It was crazy, honestly. Like I was so done at that point. Aside from that, I was supposed to go on a Colosseum tour last night, but that did not happen because apparently it was closed. And the ticket actually says that it's 8:30, but apparently it closes at 8. So I'm like, if that's the case, why would you put 8:30 as an option? That was the last tour. We picked the last tour because we wanted to explore other places and then go to the tour. Then why would you put 8:30 as an option when you close at 8? Man, it was, I don't know, that happened, and then this happened in Florence with all the buses. And the time where we actually got on the right station, the right platform, turns out the bus is coming back, the bus is reaching late, like 40 minutes late. I'm like, why is this happening? So it's been crazy, and I'm finally in Florence, so I'm grateful for that. It's just that money, I have to spend a lot of money. I would love to see Florence in a daylight view, but I feel like I may not have the opportunity because reaching here was already almost sunset, and by the time I feel better and about to head out, it was already sunset. And yeah, it was just too late for me to see things on a daylight. Since tomorrow I'm going to Venice, I'm just hoping that will be a good time since I planned the whole thing. Hoping everything goes well. But yeah, I'm just grateful that here I am in Florence and it's so beautiful. I'm now heading to the Santa Novella. It's actually a church, and I heard that at night it lights up really beautifully. So I'm walking there, and I'm really looking forward to see that.
This is my last stop in Florence, and after Venice, my next stop was Milan. So the next video is about Milan, and I decided to combine these two into one video. Our first stop in Milan is the Duomo di Milano. You can see how beautiful it is at night. It light up so beautifully, and together with all the Christmas lights and how there are a lot of high-class shopping centers around it, it's so beautiful and very high class. This cathedral is really huge. You can see from the side view, oh my god, I was like shocked. And below those, you see those stands, those are actually Christmas markets, and it only opens in the morning. And together with the Christmas lights, oh my god, the whole place is just so beautiful. I was just in awe, and I just couldn't get enough of it. Right beside the cathedral is this Galleria. It is the oldest shopping mall in Milan. It was built in the 1860s, and it is an active shopping center. It has all of the high-class brands like Louis Vuitton, Chanel, Dior. Oh my god, it was just so like, you know, I was like, oh, this is one of a kind. I've never seen it before. And you know what's the best part? It has all of the cafes and restaurants that were built in the 1860s still exist until now. The architecture of this cathedral is so beautiful in the morning. You can see it so clearly. And you can see there are actually a lot of statues of priests. These priests actually helped to fund to build this cathedral. And right beside this cathedral is the Galleria. So wait, hold on. So you can see right beside it that is actually the Galleria. It's just right walking distance. And this is how it looks like in the morning. What you heard just now is the music from the organ. So someone was playing the organ, and you can hear it throughout the whole cathedral. And this is actually known as the Gothic architecture. And what is unique is that different sides of this cathedral, you have a different view. And I find that so unique, and I don't think I've ever seen a cathedral like this. This Duomo di Milano is definitely one of a kind, and you should visit it if you ever come to Milan. In Italy, I see trams like this. These are electronic trams. Actually, I only see this in Florence and Milan, and I did not see any of this in Rome, and I found that a little bit weird, but it was still very interesting to see this on the road. Walking distance from the cathedral is this castle. It's called Sforzesco Castle. It's a medieval castle, as you can see, and it actually contains about the history of Milan, the history of the town itself. It also has some history about Leonardo da Vinci, and you can see how huge it is. It has a park here. Unfortunately, we aren't able to look into this museum because we were supposed to leave Milan on the same day, so we did not have the time, and we wanted to explore more. But it was just nice to look around. This was our last stop in Milan. It is a historical landmark and it is the Gate of Milan. I'm not so sure how to pronounce it, but we walked all the way from the castle to here and we walked all the way back. There was a huge park while we walked along and it was nice to walk there. And this is our last meal before we left Milan and before we went to the airport. It was nice to eat spaghetti with the view of all of the shops. It's so bougie. I feel very high class. So we took the flight from Milan all the way to Austria, and once we landed at the airport we took the train all the way to the city center of Austria. And I'll talk more about Austria in my next vlog.